Welcome back everybody to another goddamn bloody episode of Cigarillos Talk. I will not be smoking in today's video because smoking, you need to understand me, is very bad for your health. I know that there are some sources, some niche sources that say like that smoking helps your testosterone levels. I'm not really sure about that. Overall, smoking cigarettes and cigarillos like these are very bad for you because they contain many substances that are very damaging for your health. I'm not really sure about like pure tobacco, like pure cigars that are just the entirety of the cigar is just made out of like a leaf and there's nothing added to it. I'm not really sure about that, but overall smoking cigarettes and cigars is very damaging for your health. What did I want to talk about? I fucking forgot. I forgot. Shit. What an incredible start to this video. The thing is, like, I click record, and I want to record many forms of these kinds of videos. But many times I stumble over my own words, and I think that the video is shit, and I think that the performance is just overall just fucking ass. So I do not upload it, or like I click record like 20 times in the span of like 10 minutes, because I started a video, I said like, welcome back to another episode of Cigarillos Talk, blah 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 blah, all these things, and then I like just my head goes into some weird topic that's not the core part of this video, and I just like go off my rails. And then I just say, fuck this shit, I'm gonna start again. I'm gonna pause this video and I'm gonna start recording again. And that's fucking damaging because I have like 50 videos that I could just be uploading right now, but because I think it is shit, and because I think that it's bad video quality, I'm not uploading that shit. And that's kind of affecting my mental health a little bit because I'm spending so much time on the things that I want to upload, that I want to talk. Jesus fucking Christ, I'm stuttering. The things that I want to talk about and I want to upload them, but I just cannot physically because I think that the quality of the video is shit. So yeah, what did I want to talk about? Social skills. Social skills are very fucking important. Do not get me wrong. You could look ugly as shit if we want to go through this black pill looks maxing thing, like lookism thing. You can look like shit, but if your social skills are on point and they're like sharp, you will have a much easier time in life. That's not really the point of this video. What I want to say is that I want to go through a story time, because this video is going to be all over the place, so I apologize for that. You know what? I do not apologize for that. I take that back. Fuck you. So, one day I was out with my friends, with two of my very close friends. And we were like going to like the cafe, we were like drinking coffee. All this alpha male shit that you already know about. And then later, before we went home, we kind of went to the gas station to like grab something to drink, to like sit down at the gas station, to like just chit chat and talk about things. And then later, one of my past friends, or the people that was kind of close to me, but not really, came there. And like, the guy looks fucking amazing, don't get me wrong. The guy has one of the best fucking outfits ever. I'm gonna put the picture on the screen so that you understand. You will fucking call that outfit the Discord moderator outfit, and I fucking understand it, but to me, that outfit looks amazing. The problem is, if you're alone, and if you're kind of socially autistic, and people look at you and you're like outside of the norm because that outfit is not normal for today's standards, people will look at you and they will say like that you're a freak, that you're like a weirdo or something. So yeah, even though I think that outfit looks sick, to the outside eye it's not very sick, it looks very goofy. And the thing was like, he came there alone. And the thing that he was doing was, he first of all went out of his way to like greet me, to like say hello, what's up, how life is going and all of that. And then later he just went out there, sit on the chair, and he pulled out a phone and started watching a series all alone on the gas station in like, I don't know, 12 o'clock, when people are usually sleeping, like very late. And I do not know if you understand this, but that's very weird behavior to me. Like, that's just completely strange behavior to me, because he's alone sitting at a public place, just watching a series. And keep in mind, he's not like waiting for something. He just came out of his way to go at that position. For example, when you see a guy sitting at a cafe and he's like alone and like watching a series, you would kind of expect him to like wait for like transport or like wait for his date or just waiting for something. But no, that guy just genuinely came there to just watch a series. I kind of guessed so because this happened like 10 times in a row. And the thing is, like, at that moment, first of all, yes, it's kind of goofy. In my own head, that's kind of goofy, but at that certain part of my life, at that certain part of the moment, in the present moment, I just felt such a huge feeling of sadness. Because I kind of understand his position. He's not a very social person. I believe that he's kind of socially autistic. I'm also kind of socially autistic, but I kind of have that emotional intelligence to like understand like what's going on, what's going on in someone's head, because I'm kind of chronically online. I see many people talk about their life, and I'm kind of addicted to YouTube. So when people are talking about their certain struggles, I kind of pick that shit up, and then I can see that things in my real life. I guess that's kind of the beneficial thing of having a YouTube addiction, even though YouTube addiction is fucking destroying my life to some certain degree. Disregard that. I'm going off the rails of the video. I'm going off topic. To me, that behavior is very weird. Very like unique and weird, because that guy did not have a very good childhood. Before, when we were like in high school, we had like a very core friend group, and there were like 10 of us, and we were like very hard with each other. Not in the homosexual way, we were just hard. Us men, we were very hard with each other. We went very hard with each other. I'm going off topic. And the thing is, like, many people were coming in and fucking hell. Many people were coming in and coming out in like our friend group, and we were like very close knit. And that guy came in, and we were like just like, oh my god, like this guy is good, this guy is unique. We like kind of like this guy, but very fast we picked on certain character traits of him that we did not really respect, because he was kind of autistic. He kind of did not understand our humor. When there's like a certain topic, he would not really pick that shit up, and he would like go talk about himself and his own things. And the thing is, like, yeah, it's kind of good to talk about your own things if you like need to like share those things. But if it's not like in the social moment, if you not pick up that social cue that you are not the main topic of today's social cue, of today's social topic, you shouldn't really be implementing yourself in there. You should just be going with the flow. For example, I'm not outside with my friend group and I just do not talk about myself. I'm not just out there like saying, ooh, I achieved 120 kilogram bench press yesterday. Ooh, I was watching a series called Berserk, and I think that you should watch Berserk because Berserk is such a good anime to watch, and you should read that anime, you should read that manga. Ooh, I went out of my way, I went outside for a walk, and I saw a dog, and that dog attacked me, so I had to run, and I pissed my pants, I pissed my shit. You need to understand that in these moments of social interactions, you should not really be implementing yourself that hard. Because, for example, if somebody is talking about, I don't know, cars, and he's like talking about cars, and you people have been talking about cars for like 10 minutes, and you just came in the social conversation saying like, hey, I love watching anime. You would be looked at as that weirdo guy, and that was like kind of his own thing. And because, you know, we were young, we did not really have that social and emotional intelligence of understanding of how to reject people. We were kind of mean to him. And then I remembered at that moment, like, there are some certain parts where I was like very mean to that guy, because in high school we had like certain groups, and we would like to like separate each other from certain groups. And that guy was constantly following us. And some people in my group, in my friend group, were really fucking annoyed. They were annoyed to the point where like they really wanted to like say something to him, to like say something to him, to like go away from us. You're like an annoying piece of shit, something like that. But nobody really had the heart to do it. But because I wanted to like gesture max in my own friend group, and I wanted to like climb up the social hierarchy of my own friend group, I said like, guys, listen to me. I'm gonna be that guy. I'm gonna take the bullet and I'm gonna be that guy who will tell to him that he should not hang out with us. I'm gonna tell him the real situation because he does not understand social cues. He does not understand what we want to tell him. So I'm gonna be that guy who will go up to him and I will tell him, hey, I'm sorry, but we find you very annoying. We find you very weird. And I know that you're not really picking up on that shit, but you should go your own separate way. We do not really like you in that kind of way. I remember I was pretty fucking mean, and I fucking regret that moment. I'm fucking sad for that moment. I mean later I guess that he forgot, even though that leaves a burden on your own soul. For example, when someone separates you from the group and tells you like, hey guy, you're weird, you're annoying, please go away. I mean, that was kind of a good thing for me to tell him, because he needed to understand that that group does not like him. And I kind of went out of my own way to take the bullet of being that mean guy to tell him that. And I kind of regret, like, I not really regret telling him that. I regret the way how I told him, because I was kind of mean to him and I was kind of a bitch ass dude for saying that to him. So what happened is that all of those flashbacks came in my own head, because he wasn't good with our friend group, he wasn't good with my friend group, but he wasn't also good with other friend groups. Because very fast through high school, if you're like a weirdo guy and one guy picks that shit up, very fast everybody will pick that shit up, that you're like a weirdo guy, and nobody wants to really interact with you. Nobody really wants to be your friend. Because it's kind of that weird thing, for example, in dating. If you're like dating as a guy, I'm talking from the perspective of being a male with balls and a dick. If you're like a guy and you're like dating a girl and you're like the same looks match, for example, you're like 5 out of 10 and she's like a 5 out of 10, nobody would really bat an eye. But if you're like a guy who's like a 7 out of 10 and you're going out with a girl who's like a 2 out of 10, people will look around and they will like think like, what's going on here? Something's not really right. Like, that guy is so attractive. He's much more attractive than the looks match of this girl. And something's not right. That people are thinking that in their own head. Something is not right. That's kind of the thing with that guy, with that friend. Because if you're like a weirdo guy, and people know that you're like kind of like autistic and weirdo guy, and there's like a guy like talking to you, and there's like a guy like who's like a friend with you, people would judge that guy. People would judge that friend of yours because he's like going out with you. He's like talking to weird people. Is he also weird? Is he also kind of autistic? I mean, looking this as an adult guy who's like right now 21 years of age, you can kind of go past that, for example, because you do not care what other people think about you. But in high school, it is such a different case, because people judge you and it like hits you in your fucking heart, because you're very aware. You're like, you want to be very aware of what other people think about you. So if you're like kind of autistic and everybody knows about that, you will have a very hard time, because nobody really wants to befriend you. If you have a friend, if you're like autistic and you have a friend who's like hanging out with you, cherish that shit, appreciate that shit, be grateful for that shit, because that guy sees something in you that other people do not see in you. So, understanding the past position, understanding his past life, understanding that in high school he was this kind of autistic guy, I was just hit with such a huge hit of sadness. Huge hit of like, just like sadness and pity, because he was all alone. And I believe that for the majority of life, he will also be very alone. Even though his style is unique, and I fucking love that style, I also want to wear that kind of trench coat and that hat and just be that guy. But seeing him and like seeing his position and like him sitting on that chair and just being all alone, like, he was talking to me for like 5 minutes and we were like chit-chatting, talking about Berserk and anime and all these things, because I do not want to be that weirdo guy who's like, oh, anime, anime, because I fucking love anime and I want to be myself. I do not want to go through this planet being afraid, being like socially anxious. I want to be myself. So that's kind of the point, because I was sitting with my two friends, and that guy came in, and I started talking to him about like Berserk and anime. Like those two of my friends were just like turning their heads. Like one of my friends was literally like this, just fucking staring at the fucking ground. And that the friend who was sitting next to him said like, yes, is that ground looking very good? Is that ground made out of ground? Is that floor of the gas station made out of fucking I don't know, granite or some kind of floor material? I don't know, concrete or something. And I was just I almost burst out of laughter. I almost burst out laughing, but I just couldn't, because I was talking to that guy, and I did not want to be disrespectful to that guy, because if he picked up that I was laughing at him, I would just fucking cry. I would just start crying. I would go home and I would just be fucking sad about it. And we were like talking about anime for like 5 minutes, and then he just said like, okay, like, peace out. I'm just gonna go and watch my series. And then he just went there and he was like sitting, and I was like sad, because people without social skills, people without friends, people who are chronically lonely because of the conditions that they could not really control. Because I believe that social skills is not really the thing that you learn. Kind of the black pill take of this entire thing, because I believe that social skills cannot really be learned easily. Of course, you can practice game, you can practice social skills. I'm not denying that. You can get better. Do not get me wrong, you can get better in life. I want to be that hopeful guy. I want to feed you some hope pills, some white pills. Because yes, you can improve social skills, but it fucking depends. There are so many criteria that you need to watch out in that sort of thing. Is the video recording? How do you learn social skills when you're like from the age of like 5 or 10 or 15? Because I see social skills as this. I see them like as levels. They're like levels in a video game, that if you pass level 1, you get to level 2. But if you're struggling with level 2 and everybody surpasses you and everybody is at level 10 and you're still stuck at level 2, you're fucking struggling, because you cannot really keep up. That's the whole thing with social skills. Yes, you can learn them, but you're gonna struggle a lot if you kind of did not went through some certain milestones in your own life. For example, if you're like at the age of 10 and everybody around you is also at the age of 10, and you have the social intelligence of level 10, of the age of 10, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be fucking fine and dandy. But if you're at the age of 25, but your emotional intelligence, no, your social intelligence is at the level of 16, you're gonna fucking struggle, because everybody around you is at the age of 25, and everybody around you is at the social intelligence of level 25, and everybody will look at you as this socially uncalibrated guy, and nobody will really want to hang out with you on the like long-term basis. Like, yeah, they will tolerate you because they do not want to be the mean guy. They do not want to be seen as the aggressor of like saying like, go away from me, go fucking away from me, just fucking leave, man, leave, man. Nobody wants to be that guy, but they will avoid you. They will go out of their way to avoid you, because you did not learn certain things at the ages that you needed to learn. And that's kind of fucking saddening to me, because many people go out of their way. They go in their lives thinking about, oh my god, what the fuck did I did wrong? What fucking happened in my own life? Why am I so chronically lonely? Well, it's because you did not pass through certain milestones of your own life. You do not have a period of your life where, for example, you have a strong friend group and you're like going out and you're like doing this, doing that. For example, my social intelligence is not very high. It takes a very long time for me to like befriend a guy, to like fully open up to a guy. For example, in high school, no, in primary school, everybody loved me. Like the entire class loved me. For example, all the girls loved me in primary school. So when I was like the ages of like, I don't know, 10, 9, 10. It doesn't really matter. In primary school, all the girls liked me, all the boys liked me. I was very good with everybody. But once I entered high school, once I was the ages of 14, I was that guy who, for example, like wanted to be good with everybody because that's what I learned. That is what I learned in primary school. And I wanted to be good with everybody, but because high school is just a totally different area of like fucking just entire different frontier. I was very open with everybody, but I was shut down very fast because I went in, I wanted to talk about certain things, and a guy like said like, when? When what? When did I ask? And I just fucking died. I just fucking shot in the head. And very fast I became very autistic because that fucking hit me hard. It's not that certain thing, it was more of a collective thing of many different things happening at the same time, but it fucking hurt me. And from that moment, from that period of my life, it takes me very hard to like open up to people and to like be very social, to like understand some social cues. It takes me, for example, like 1 year to fully open up to a guy. To the point where, for example, at my workplace, at my current workplace, it took me 1 year to open up to certain people because it's just that's in my head. That's just my head. But the problem is it takes a 1 year. First impressions are very important. They're really important. So people at my job look at me as this weirdo guy, as this social autistic guy, like a guy who is like the intelligence of a fucking toilet seat. Whilst in reality I'm not. I can really talk about many different things. I can really dive into certain things like philosophy, life, all these things. But I can't because my social intelligence is not there. I Before I went to like on a IQ test and I had an IQ test of 120. I'm not bragging. I'm just saying like that IQ test could also be fake because you did not have to pay for that. It's not like an confirmed IQ test. It's just like an online test. But it's not really important. It's Java. Java jebote. If you're like the intelligence of 150, you're like have high emotional intelligence. You're like very intellectual. But if your social intelligence is not there, everybody will look at you as the fool, as this goofy guy. So what I want to say is that if you're socially autistic, you're gonna have a harder time. And I'm just fucking sad for these people. I just feel so much pity and sadness because fucking hell, life didn't treat you good. And because of that, it just snowball effect into other areas of your life where you feel socially anxious, you just feel sad all the time. You're just chronically lonely. But you can get out of that position. You can definitely get out of that position. You just need to find a friend who is like very good with you. Online communities are very good for that. But you can kind of enter that online addiction thing. That's not very good for you. Because the battery will die soon. I need to end this video very fast. What I want to say is that you can learn social skills. You can get better at social skills. It's just fucking hard. It's just sometimes very difficult. Many times you feel like it's fucking over. Many times in life you feel like it's fucking over, but the reality that's just your head. Just your head working against you, and that's a very bad thing. That's fucking so bad for you. You need to remain hopeful. In this life, you need to fucking remain hopeful. I'm saying this to everybody on this fucking planet. Life is fucking hard, but you need to remain hopeful because who else? Who else will be on your side? Who else will be there for you if you're not with yourself? You need to understand that social skills are hard to learn, but you can still be able to learn that. You're just at a disadvantage. That's the thing. You're at a disadvantage, but because of that disadvantage, you believe that it's over. It's not. Please do not believe that it's over. I do not want you to feel like it's fucking over because all of these fucking years of nihilism, in my entirety of 2025, I was fucking nihilistic to the point where I was just thinking it's fucking over. But it's not really. For many people of you, it's not really. Shit. Fuck. Remain hopeful. Truly, I mean that. Remain hopeful. Thank you everybody for watching. See you in the next videos.